right, welcome on in, guys. Welcome back to yet another TapDaddyBeats stream. I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. And yeah, I got a good session planned for today. Today, we're going to be mixing down some beats in Ableton Live 12. And you know, I have a huge catalog of stuff that needs mixed. I went back and I found two today that are just kind of like these gems that I feel like I had like kind of stuck, you know, just kind of hidden away. And so today we're going to be mixing down these two beats for the purpose of BeatStars. Oh god, I keep hearing this fuzziness and then it goes away. I don't know what that is. I'll be doing a little bit of troubleshooting probably. So if you hear that fuzzy noise, sorry about that. I don't know. But anyways, what we are listening to right now is actually the opening to my new EP, Thinking of You. Definitely check it out if you haven't gotten a chance to yet. I don't know, I'm so happy with this, man. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's get into things. Let's pause that. I'll let you guys go check out Thinking of You on all platforms. I am, of course, TapDaddy. You guys know where to find me, all that good jazz. All right, let's dive into it. Now, like I said, these are really old projects, okay? And there were some dependency issues that I was not able to solve. What is going on, man? Let me try unplugging my microphone and plugging it back in. It's been being weird. Test. Okay, let's hope that fixed. Test. There we go. Okay, sorry. This is off to a great start, man. All right, well, let's hear this through. There was only one dependency I wasn't able to solve, and it was the reverb on the snare. That's okay. We're going to replace that snare reverb, but let's just hear what we're working with first. What is that sound? That's going to be really annoying for this session if I can't figure out what that is. Oh, you know what I think it might be? I think that might actually be the key bass. I wonder if I don't have this registered yet. That might be like the protection for this key bass, which I have a license for it. I just need to enter in my licensing. Trial version. Please purchase a license on our website. Yeah, no worries. I got the license, bro. Where do I enter it, though? Like, where can I put in my license, dude? Yeah, it's gotta be this guy. It's this guy. Okay. Now you see, now I know it's not a microphone issue, it's a trial version. Okay. Because yeah, I'm curious if it's gonna do that sound again here soon. Okay, well, I need to just figure out how to license that. I've got I'm just gonna sorry, I'm bumping my microphone. I'm just gonna look at my email real quick and see. I believe I've got a license there, so yep, license. Here we go. Download the Keybase, save it in the same folder as the license. Yeah. Okay, it is this guy. Okay. I understand what's going on now. Okay, so here we're going to do some real audio engineering work, you know, getting a license to work. Okay, so then run the installer and enable the license key option in the installer. Oh, did I just like install this wrong? Okay. Let me figure something out here. Also, alternatively to this keybase, I could use hip hop bass in. Yeah, that might actually be a better workaround, but let's just see if I can download the keybase installer from our website and save it in the same folder as the license file. Okay. I've got, cool, they're both in my download folder. Let me try running this again because it's in the trash. Okay, let me go pull the DMG file out of the trash. Let's see. I'll pull this back out to downloads. Okay. All right, so I guess I've got to install this. This package will run a program to determine if the, okay. Continue. Agree to installing. Okay, I agree. License key, that's what I had to do. Okay, I see. And then I continue, I install. I got to, yeah, just get this. Okay. I think we're gonna be able to use the keybase, you know. So let's see if we can. Install software. Okay, it says it was successful. So it should be licensed now. If I turn this back on, I'm curious. We might have to like reload the project or refresh. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to refresh. Rescan the plugins. You see, so it is in there. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save. It's gonna make us do a save as. We're gonna say. Test. Okay, sorry. I keep bumping my microphone. I'm just riddled with issues today. We're just problem solving shit, you know, whatever. It's all good. Let's see. So then we will save this and then we'll reload the project. And ideally, if I've done my homework right, the keybase will be licensed and then we can just like move on with the mix. But yeah, this track, I'm glad to finally be getting this one done. I would say, oh God, keybase is still doing shit. I would say that this track, definitely kind of piqued my interest. I used to do a lot of this kind of style of beat where I would have these like chirpy vocals that were like hyper pitched up and like kind of blippy. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's just like a style that I've done for a while that I think is kind of unique. So I like heard this track today and was just like, ooh, why did I never drop this? This is a cool track. All right. It looks like it is ready. So now I can just reload the project like this. And hopefully keybase will be licensed now. So let's see. If we hear that fuzziness again, we'll probably like replace the keybase. What's up, Mammy? How you doing? It's good to see you. We're working on a really weird beat today. I like it. This sounds like a Nujabe's, Jack, what's his name? Jack Stuber or something like that? The guy that did, I forget the name of the music. I just know I know in my mind the song I'm thinking of. He does like indie stuff. I don't know. Well, I gotta say, I think Keybase is fixed. I don't hear any of that fuzz anymore. Man, I'm glad that I, went out of my way to download Keybase today. It's a free plugin, by the way. You guys can get Keybase as well. That's K-E-E bass. Just a nice, subby bass, But yeah, Mammy says, hey, I'm good. Finished physical therapy and occupational therapy not long ago. Nice. Moving through your day, I take it. That's good. Hell yeah. Okay, and I think that this sounds kind of true to the demo that we had. Now we can kind of get in with the mix. Man, Mammy, you got here right in time. I feel like we really haven't done much in this mix. This is pretty much where we're starting from. Now we're going to get into this and really try to clean this, make it sound immaculate. We'll see. Let's see. I'm going to maybe start with the drums here. And here's the last dependency that we weren't able to fix. It was mcharm verb on the snare, which is just a very clean reverb, We might mess around with a very clean reverb, but quite honestly, I want to undo a lot of this processing. Okay, I see what we're working with here. So, nowadays, since the time that I made this song, I have so many more tools and just different ways that I like to go about this sort of sound. So I think I am going to turn off. We had a sketch cassette. This was a tape processor. It was making it sound more muted. And also, I think did we have compression on here? No. But we did have this drum bus really punching it up. So together they were like this. I'll show you guys, this is kind of how I would choose to do this today. We're going to group that, turn that off so that we just know we can set that aside, right? But now I think what I want to start with is let's cut the highs. Let's pull out an EQ. We might even mono this as well. We'll see. Also, just gain staging wise, the leveling of things, I want to turn up this kick. Also, before we get too comfortable with this volume, we should probably take everything down a little bit. Give ourselves some headroom, that's always never a bad idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6. We'll give ourselves 6 decibels. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it is a little bit quieter. You can turn up your headphones. I always like to start from quiet to loud is basically how I mix, Incrementally, we're making it feel more full. Let's see now. So that feels pretty good. We might even turn down this hi-hat a little bit. And then as a whole, I think this can come up. Okay. But now, you see, we haven't even gotten to the magic yet. We're gonna... Well, you know, hearing the sound of this, I think I do want to just to be safe, I want to like dead mono this, because I think it would be... Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to pull out Decapitator instead of using that drum bus. So basically, what we've done here is we've muted the drums instead of using a tape processor. And now we're going to pull out Decapitator from Sound Toys. And we're going to punch this up a bit. And then we'll probably compress a little bit. Okay, now I feel like we could turn the snare down a bit. I also want to hear as we open this up a little. There's like a happy middle ground in there somewhere. Yeah, I remember I had to do this thing over here because the snare was pretty harsh. Of course, you know, it's a little different now. Basically, this automated to turn on when we did the vinyl filter there. I like the sound of it, though. I think we're going to keep it like this. All right, but I feel like we're still not there yet. I think what I want to do now is I want to pull out the 1176 compressor and see if maybe before, after, I'm not quite sure which side of this I want it on. We're basically going to give it all attack, no release. We'll see how that feels. Yeah, thank you, Mammy. We're getting places, you know? I don't know, though. This kind of flattens the kick, and the kick was already kind of flat to begin with. Pull out an EQ. And after the compression, we're going to go... yoink. Boy, this kick just feels so flat. What are we got going on here? Ooh, okay, Decapitator after the compressor. I don't know, sometimes it really is like the order of which you do things in really matters. Basically, it should be kind of obvious, I would think, but also, you know, for anybody that might not know or have never really thought of it in this way, when you're setting up your effects chains, whatever is on the left is going to be the input for what's on the right. Okay, and that goes all the way forward. You see, this is the input to this, right? So basically what we've done here, and I think order matters for a couple of reasons. First of all, when we're compressing, we're squeezing the audio that is there. So what I like to do is any subtractive EQs, anything we're going to be taking away from the sound, I like to do that before we squeeze on the sound, before we really squish it dynamically, right? So I take the highs out, we compress right here, then we saturate, we go Decapitator, crunch it up a little bit, and then after that we do an additive EQ, adding to the low end here. Because, you know, like, if we did this before the compressor, this is going to get normalized by this compressor. This compressor is normalizing the dynamics. It's taking the floor of the sound, it's bringing that up. It's taking the ceiling of the sound, it's bringing that down. It's squeezing on the audio. So that's why, I don't know, you see, like, this is just an example of how, like, order matters and how, you know, kind of being critical. You could try things a couple ways. You saw me just, like, shuffle these around until I, like, hit a sound that I was kind of enjoying. It's still pretty wild. I don't know. But now we can A/B test this, okay? So let's take all of this. Oops. And we're gonna group this. I gotta admit, like, the kick knocks on this one, but I just think there's a lot more satisfaction to be had over here. I would still like to get that kick to bump a little bit harder, but we could be a little bit harsh on this. It is boom bap after all, like. Maybe I'd turn the tone down a little bit to get it a little bit truer to kind of how it was with this darker feel, but see, that feels pretty good, but I do want a little bit of extra crunch on here. See, I just like how that feels on the kick, you know? Maybe not so much how it feels on the snare. So maybe we do like a little bit of this over here, but we take this decapitator, we bring it out to our kick. And we can give it extra saturation on this kick. Okay, so this is the other one that I got. Okay. So yeah, this is the one I was looking for. Thing is, though, is that this is going to be before the compressor. Yeah, and it sounds, we get a more satisfying crunch after the compressor. So there's like trade-offs we got to make. It's kind of difficult. I'm also thinking we might experiment with a little dash of reverb on the snare. I know we were doing that in the original mix, right? So maybe we try something like Super Plate, but we try to get a controlled amount. I feel like this reverb has a tendency to get out of hand sometimes. We'll see. Oh, and you know what? We are monoed. Let's take the mono off while we're playing with this. Ooh, this Audicon. That feels kind of cool. Ooh, Stocktronics. That feels a little bit more controlled. Let's get a little bit tighter. Yeah, let's go. This is sounding cool. Okay. We maybe lighten up on this. Dope. What the hell? Okay. For some reason, my audio is being pushed down. I can't hear nothing. Here, let me try something. Maybe this will help. Let's see. Yeah, and it's weird. It's as if my volume knob is stuck pointing down. Here. There's always so many like technical difficulties. I feel like these past 2 days I have had a ton of technical difficulties. On stream yesterday, my laptop like completely just bricked and just shut down. But I figured it out, I got through it, like whatever. I'm not deterred. I'm gonna unplug this keyboard real quick and plug it back in, and we'll see if it figures it out. Yeah, I know, it's so weird. I don't know. I've got patience. I can sift through it. All right. Let me just get up and unplug that. Okay, that's weird. I unplugged my my headphones, and it's still as if it's like hard. I unplugged the keyboard, and it's still as if it's just like being pressed down, turning down in volume. That's so weird. Maybe I'll try like a different. I'm gonna go into the audio settings. We'll see. Yeah, I see Mammy saying good for you, because I'd be having a meltdown and talking myself out of throwing things. I'm like a few more bugs away from being at that point, but anything else happens, I just might. Oh man. Let me see. System settings, sound. Stream audio. Oh, even when I change the audio source, it just like goes down. That's so weird. I don't know what's wrong with it right now. Okay, well, let's do a save as, and I'm going to restart Ableton and see if maybe Ableton might be causing some of these issues. So we're going to do save live set as, and we'll call it Mix V1. We're in the middle of Mix V1. And we'll save it. Yeah, Mammy says, is there something with a cord or audio channel? Yeah, so I've got like a couple things that I predict might be going awry here. I've got, I've got this thing called loopback that allows me to hear audio. Oh, man. There we go. Oh, nope. But yeah, I even see in loopback, it's like being controlled. I might like restart loopback. I might restart Ableton. I feel like sometimes Ableton might cause certain audio issues. We'll see. What's up? User Dumb. How's it going, dude? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. You caught me at the troubleshooting part of stream. We're troubleshooting my volume. I can't hear myself through my headphones right now, so we are trying to figure that out. Okay, so we just did a save as on Ableton. We're going to quit Ableton. Yes, save. And then we'll open it up again. I'm also going to try to restart my loopback. And we'll see if that helps. Okay, so I quit Ableton. Looks like my audio is still stuck. Okay. So now I'm going to try to restart loopback. You guys probably won't be able to hear me for like a second, but I'll be right back on it. All right. Test. Ooh, we're good. All right. We are back, guys. I can hear myself. Oh my gosh, troubleshooting, man. That's the bane of my existence. Let's get Ableton back up. And let's hope that doesn't happen again. That was so weird. Whatever. I used to be a software developer, and I feel like I've got a thick skin for this sort of nonsense when you're trying to troubleshoot and get through stuff, But anyways, we figured it out. We'll dive back into the project. But yeah, User Dumb saying, doing well. Thanks for asking. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. Glad you could join us. Absolutely, man. Right as we got our problems solved, too. You got here at a good time, man. All right, so, yeah, we're making progress in this mix anyways. We're trying to really just spiffy this beat up, mostly for BeatStars. Like, I'm not sure if this track's going to touch Spotify, although I do quite enjoy this track. I think it's pretty whimsical. I really want to get this up on BeatStars, though. So, we'll get it sounding spiffy, spiffy enough to stem out and send to a rapper. It should be good. All right, and it is thinking of it. We are loading. We are getting in there. All right. But yeah, and I think we got the drums sounding pretty good. Now we could probably start focusing on some of these individual elements. And also, we got such weird experimental kind of sounds in this track. We're doing a lot of interesting sort of pitch stuff. We're doing these sort of like, I don't know how to call it other than like these very like a lot of like pitch shifting of stuff. So we've got a lot of like untraditional sounds, and I think what's kind of fun about when you're working with kind of untraditional sounds is there's no like, I don't know, right way or predictable way that you might mix it down. It's kind of like, it really is up to you what you're vibing with, what kind of sound feels satisfying to you. All right, so it is loading. Gosh, in hindsight, I probably didn't have to restart Ableton, but I was troubleshooting. Trying things out. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I guess in the meantime, while we wait for that to load, we can listen to a little bit more of this music here. Yes. If you guys don't know, If you've been hiding under a rock, I just dropped a new EP. It's called Thinking of You. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I love this track. Oh, I'm trying to open Ableton again. Application is not responding. Guys, I am having bad luck this week. Bad luck with just all of the stuff, you know? Yeah, user dump. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I would say that this project is kind of a collection of some of my like loveliest stuff, you know? It's stuff that is just incredibly feel good, kind of wholesome, you know? I don't know, it's the Thinking of You EP. It's kind of a collection of love letters, I suppose, you know? So, I don't know, you'll have to check it out if you're interested. I'm TapDaddy on all platforms, and that was like my newest release. So, here we go. Jesus, Ableton. You done having problems today? You gonna behave, man? All right, we'll have to see where we're at in this mix again. Yeah, Mammy's saying technology is great when it works. I agree. I agree. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need a beer after this stream. Jesus. All right, let's get back into it. This is also why we save frequently. You know, save all the time. Ooh, okay, so I like how we got these drums sounding pretty snappy and punishing now. I think what I'm going to do, though, this is going to help these drums feel even bigger. We are going to duplicate out these drums, right? But we're not going to hear this top guy. What we're going to do instead is we're going to create a sidechain signal. And I'm kind of thinking, like, maybe it's going to be these guys, and we're gonna keep like a really tight side chain. Like, it's not gonna be like a house sort of side chain where we got a lot of release on it. It's gonna feel like divots in this sort of chord chops, you know. So let's see. Ooh, we do use both these kicks. I didn't realize that. This is our main kick, though. I like how we got that crunching. Cool. Okay. So we are going to use both of these kicks. We might include the snare in the sidechain signal, because it would give some weight to our snare. Let's maybe try it with the snare. We're going to mute everything else in this guy. Okay. So now we're going to go over to these chords. And we're going to pull out our glue compressor. We're going to set up a little tight side chain. So we're going to go to the drop down menu, external sources, set it to that top side chain signal. Tight on the attack, give it maybe a little bit more release than attack. Increase the ratio. Okay, that's not bad, but I want it to be like deeper. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna copy this, slap it right down next to itself. And we're going to tighten the attack and release. Ooh. Okay, and I'm going to add some compression before this sidechain so that we give these chords like a little bit more body to it. And I think the perfect type of compressor is going to be the LA2A. I feel like I use this all the time on like Rhodes chords, just anything with a warm mid-range. This thing is fucking awesome, man. We're gonna let this needle kind of wander out here. Now we could probably turn this down a bit. Okay, you know what? We're gonna jump into this Keybase. Yeah, I had LA2A on this guy. Cool. I might even tighten this a bit. There we go. Like, I'm enjoying kind of the dryness of some of these details here. So I don't think we're going to do like a ton of work on all of them. It's more about kind of picking and choosing the aspects that maybe you're going to add a splash of like some really vibrant like reverb ambience or something, right? Like maybe these guys might sound good if, like, I'm trying to think, if we kind of give them like maybe not like this huge reverb, but what if we kind of gave it like a sort of live room feel, maybe? Okay, this is where we start to experiment, you know? So let's go live. Let's see, I'm looking for lively resonant. That's interesting. Like, it just sounds a little bit more like contextualized, like it exists in a space, right? We might even do the same thing with these guys, just a little bit. Okay, this flute, I think we're going to throw an 1176 compressor on here. Just see how this might excite things a little bit. Okay, that feels good. Alright, let's see where our max peak is. Minus 1.4. That's not the worst. Now, let's kind of back it up. You know, I feel like we've kind of zoomed in and done some specific things with reverbs and, you know, compression and stuff. Now I feel like it's a good time to kind of try to step back from it and try to observe more broadly. You know, like, is the leveling right? Is the spacing right? Is there anything that sticks out to us? You know, I think that's really the number one thing that I would just recommend to anybody trying to improve their mix engineering skills is I feel like some of the best mix engineers in the world are really good at like dialing in on certain things, but then having the ability to like step back from it and listen to it like a normal person and not a mix engineer, and kind of let anything that sounds kind of off, let it come to you rather than you trying to seek that out, right? You know, it's kind of like if you're dialed in looking at your kick drum going, what is wrong with the kick drum? You're going to find stuff that's wrong with the kick drum, right? But sometimes it's not always the best approach. Sometimes it's like, well, if there is something that is wrong with the kick drum, like surely if it's wrong enough, we'll hear it if we're just listening passively, right? So let's back it up. Let's just check it out. Nudge this down a bit. This guy up. Really curious how this chain would feel on the bass. It might destroy it, but we're gonna find out. Why not? I kind of like that. I don't know. I kind of like the feel of that. Because then I feel like we're not in this immediate struggle between like the kick and the bass. I don't know. Let's A/B test it. Okay, I kind of like it. I'm going to try to boost up this bass like 1 decibel. Whew. Fire. Actually, I'm going to take both this bass and the drums, and we're going to turn it down 1 decibel. Kind of going back and forth. I feel like that kind of took away from the rest of the track. So we're going to take that guy and the drums, go down -1. There we go. This flugel sounds a little bit too dry. I've got an idea. Maybe we are going to go a little bit heavy on the reverb on this guy. I was kind of thinking of leaning into that more dry feel, but I want to hear it with this vocal pop hall first. I'll turn it down to like 20%-ish. Woo! I like this. Okay. LA 2A. can kind of see I'm just like nudging things as we're listening. Just kind of tightening up the track a bit, you know. What's up, Signature? How you doing, man? It's good of you to pop in, dude. But yeah, how's your day going, man? It's good to see you. We're working on a really weird beat, by the way. I'm enjoying this. It's kind of an oddball, but I like it. I like it. And you know what we could do is maybe, this is where I start considering the sidechain on like different instruments, and maybe this flugel is one that I'm kind of like, having it punch into that might feel kind of cool, right? Pull out an EQ. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit of a boost up here. This needs to come forward, this. Woo! Oh man, there we go. Yeah, Signature says, cool, thanks, mate. It's sounding good. Thank you, dude. Hell yeah. It's such an oddball kind of beat, man. I used to make a lot of stuff like this that with like these like weird pitched up chirps and stuff. I don't know. I like this style. I just don't know what you would call it, you know? Okay, maybe we could bring these down one. Whew. Yeah, honestly, we might leave this guy. I'm kind of flip-flopping, changing my minds on stuff. Yeah, I might lean more into the dryness of this, but we might bring... Okay, this guy, I'm very curious to hear it through in 1176 and just kind of feel it out. Just kind of see how this changes. Yeah, this feels a lot more defined the more that we compress it. Now, part of that is just loudness bias, right? Because we kind of increased the volume. But I feel like that feels a lot more tight. Okay, now we just need to slide it into place. Excuse me. Okay, now that we got that sounding really like up there in your face, let's try to duck it out on some of these. Dude, sick. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the drier, more compressed feel for this, and I kind of want to try that on these chirps. We're trying it a couple of ways today, you know. But that's good. We're experimenting. This is how you find your way to the best sound, Got to try it a couple of different ways. So let's take off this lively resonant for these chirps down here. Yeah, you see, and that might just sound like we lean into the drier feel, but then we squish it a little bit. Yeah. Dude, that's sick. Okay, I think we can take both this guy and its counter back by 1 decibel. Okay, hell yeah. Woo. Dude, I'm enjoying this one. This is a cool track. Like, what should I even call this? This is the biggest problem I have with tracks like this, where it's like, it doesn't really sound like anybody. It's just me getting weird on some shit. That's okay. I might call it a Nujabe's Flying Lotus type beat. I don't know. I feel like Flylo does some odd kind of experimental stuff sometimes. Not exactly like this, but, he experiments. And it sounds slightly like sonically kind of like a Nujabe's beat. I don't know. It's kind of a stretch to call it that, but whatever, we got to call it something to get it in front of rappers. That's kind of the idea, right? I don't know. That's why I laugh, though, when people are all like, oh, you make type beats? Why don't you learn to make your own style? And, like, I don't know. I feel like people are talking out their ass when they come up with all these assumptions about type beats. It's like, dude, it's basically just a genre descriptor at this point. That's basically what a type beat is it's kind of another way of defining it other than genre, I suppose. Okay, let's kind of see like where our max peak value is at and think about anything else that we might want to change here. What about ba-ba-ba-ba? I kind of want to try the sidechain on these guys, but I also am weary of the fact that it might kind of fuck with some of the timing of these chops, right? I think we just got to try it. Yeah, kind of takes out the ba 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 ba. Yeah, not a huge fan of that. Yeah, we'll just leave it be. See, trying things. That's how we get places. All right. You know what I might do with this vocals? I might turn down the feedback a little bit. And I'll turn up the dry wet just a little bit. Yeah, that feels good. Okay. Maybe this flute. Yeah, okay. Sidechain on the flute. There we go. And I think with that, we could probably turn this up a little bit. Boy, I'm really glad I licensed Keybase again. That's a plugin I kind of forgot about. It's great for bass sounds. If you guys are curious, I'm talking about this bass sound here. This guy, Keybase. It's a free plugin. You guys can all get this. KEE Bass. Okay, it looks like we got enough headroom here that we could begin compressing on the master, start working on that master. We just need something that sounds decent, right? We've pretty much gotten the mix job now. Now we're going to move on to mastering, where we take this nicely balanced track and we start to really maximize it. So we got the Shadow Hills Master compressor, as always. Let's just start setting our thresholds. I'm going to start us off in this bass section. Here we go. Okay, now we can start increasing the gains. Oh yeah, this is starting to feel very vibrant. See what our max peak is here. It's looking like minus 3.3 just leaped up to. Okay. All right, and we do got to figure out how we want this to end. I think we are just going to end it like that, you know. No fade out or anything. We're just going to play it out like that, cut it. Yeah, so I think we'll probably maybe add a little bit of radiator on there. Yeah, Signature saying based on the Fender Rhodes piano bass. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the key bass? Dude, this thing is wonderful. I didn't know that it was based on the Fender Rhodes piano bass, though. Now I'm curious. Is there like a physical, like, I don't know, key bass like instrument out there? Because I love this little thing, man. It's wonderful. I don't know. That's another piece of hardware I might have to acquire at some point in my life, you know? Damn you, Signature, you're draining my bank account. No. That's funny. I feel like, you know, and I feel like, you know, it'd be different if I came from an audio engineering background, but because I'm coming from like a bedroom production background, I feel like I find out about these things mostly through like, you know, plugins and software. And then I find out after the fact, like, oh, this is modeled after, you know, this. And I'm like, oh, what? I think one of my favorites was I saw somebody was like memeing on r/FL Studio. They like posted a picture of an LA2A compress and they were like, guys, look, they made a hardware model after the plugin. I was like, that's so funny. I don't know. Guys, they have real hardware versions of the plugins here. All right, let's pull out some little radiator. God damn. I'm having fun working on this track today, man. This is I'm glad I dug this one out of storage, you know? Got the dependencies figured out. I was scrambling before stream trying to get, you know, Keybase installed and all that. And of course, I still didn't have it quite installed right, but that's all good. We made it work. Ooh, maybe. I you know, I'm always like kind of trying to play with the bias on Love Radiator. This might be one where we introduce some of the bias. Let's hear it clean though. Like that's pretty good. But I mean, like, I love the grit of it, but it's like you know, there's two sides of me whenever I hear stuff like this. Is it's like, oh man, that is like doing wonderful things to that bass. This is sounding gritty. But then I'm also like, yeah, but I just spent so long trying to make this sound clean, and it kind of dirties it, you know? Decisions, man. Decisions. All right, let's try to use a little radiator in a way that is a little bit more sparingly. See if we can get a more controlled sound. I'm feeling quite tempted to play with the bias on this. Because this actually, I like what it's doing to the kick. And I really love what it's doing to that bass. And everything else feels maybe a little affected, but not as much. But I really am in love with how the bias causes this distortion that touches the rest of the instruments. I think this is about the setting that we wanted at. All right, let's start boosting up the volume. We're gonna minus 3.74. Let's boost it by 3.3 and slap a limiter after it. And then we'll measure the LUFS and kind of see where we're at in terms of LUFS. We'll do true peak. Let's pull out U-lean and we'll see kind of roughly where we're at with this track. And also this just gives us another chance to kind of listen through it, make sure that we are, feeling satisfied with it. See, like already I'm like, did we overshoot it with the radiator? Let's try running it without the radiator. Probably keep that radiator on. Let's see. Oh, did we have more room to push it on our utility? Let's see, we're at minus 3 point. Oh, yeah, duh. I probably could have shoved this up. Let's maybe just call this 4. Okay, so the LUFS will be in fact a little bit higher than it is here. Let's also turn off that little radiator, go back. This just feels so much more satisfying to me. I know it's a little bit more gritty, but like, damn. All right, let's run this from the beginning. I feel like that bias really helps the bass also really be felt even on like phone speakers. Like it sounds great in a car, it sounds great on a phone. It's kind of one of those things. But it does come at a cost, right? It definitely does muddy the track a little bit. Now, I mean, we're in an experimental genre, so we have a lot of creative freedom in how we choose to process this. Personally, I like it. Let's go back and let's run this into a maximizer. So Ozone. Gonna pull this out now. Little loudness warning. This might get a little bit loud. Just I always gotta warn you guys. Master Assistant high. Let's run it. Yeah, go with what you feel. I appreciate the vote of confidence signature. I'm feeling a little bit rough and unhinged on this one, quite honestly. I know it's very against the grain signature. I know that what I'm doing here is very weird, but, you know. Okay, this is where we're getting way out of hand. All right, I think this is a little bit wild. This boost over here might be worthwhile. Set that up so we have room to work. Something like this. of those where it's like I might do a V2. I'm gonna have to kind of sit with this kind of like roughness on it and probably continue to tweak it over the course of a day, but I know what I want, and I feel like we're really, really sitting close to it. Kind of like the heat turned up, but it's like, man, even with this dry wet, like pretty low, it's getting pretty unhinged. All right, let's run it from the beginning. Let's hear what we got. at about minus 10.9. I like that. I think we'll take that. Yeah, minus 11. Perfect. Okay. I think we're going to keep that. I think we are definitely going to keep that. Let's see a save. And yeah, I've got another one picked out for today. Kind of another old one. This one a little bit more in a jazzy vein. Yeah, I'll get that loaded. I'm going to grab a little bit more coffee, and then we got one more that we're trying to hit today, so we'll dive right into it. So, in the meantime, let me play you guys something off of Thinking of You. Let's listen to Lilac Petals. That's a good one. It makes me happy. So, anyways, yeah, definitely check out the new EP if you're interested. Yeah, all new EP, TapDaddy EP, just dropped. Thinking of You. Good stuff. I will be right back. 2 seconds. All right, and I am back. Just in time, too. Perfect. All right, let's get this next one loaded. We just did song 825. If you guys are curious, what we recently made was, on stream, was like song 1047. So yeah, these beats are like older ones that have just been gems sitting in my collection that I've just been waiting for the right moment to mix down, you know? So anyways, I got another one, an even older track that I think is pretty solid. I think you guys are going to like it. This one is song 779. How wild is that? I know. All right. We'll let it load. Let it do its thing. Let's see. I got some hot coffee here. Oh, wow. That didn't take long at all. All right, so let's hear this one through. I think this one was in a pretty good spot. I'm not sure. Let's hear it. Oh yeah. AJ Hall on the drums, by the way. Shout out to AJ Hall. Yeah, if you're a producer and you are looking for permissions to live recorded drum breaks, really good drum breaks, I highly recommend checking out AJ Hall. Oh man, there was a period of time where I bought so many of his kits, dude. Yeah, there's not like a ton on here that I want that like needs deep cleaning, right? This is sounding like this is in a good spot. So what we're gonna do then is we're just gonna make sure we're gonna do quality assurance across the board, basically. But we're not gonna obligate ourselves to touching everything, I guess, is really, I guess, what I would recommend, right? Like, if it sounds really good and snappy, like, that's what it is. But, let's see, first and foremost, we got a max peak value of 3.36, so we're going to turn everything down by a decent amount. Let's see, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, we are now below 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, okay. So now you might want to turn your headphones up. This is gonna be a little bit quieter. We're gonna work our way back into the loudness. So I think, first thing I kind of notice is that the drums compared to the sample material is a little bit much. Man, some of these sounds, I'm like, oh, I remember I used to use this sound a lot. This dusty glockenspiel. Okay. So right off the bat, there's actually like, I like the balance of this for the most part. I like how things are like locking into place. There's not like a ton of deep EQing that I think we're going to need. Quite honestly, I think it's going to come down mostly to the compression, a little bit of rearranging when it comes to the leveling of things. We might space things a little bit differently as we get into this section with like everything going off. And I see we kind of have this already but basically, like, this sounds like it's going to be in the left ear. This guitar sounds like it's going to be in the right ear. This is sounding sick. This song is so bumping. It's awesome. Oh, man. I really got to give props to AJ Hall, though. I feel like this break, the Mohammed break, oh, man, is that doing so much for this track. I really, really love the spring reverb that he has on, I think it's the snare. Yeah. That just, like, adds so much to this track. Okay, we're gonna apply a little bit of compression, some LA2A, to these sample chops. So let's do it. We're gonna do this after, you see, I cut out the lows so that we had more room for the bass when I was producing this like 2 years ago. So we're gonna do this after that cut. And we kind of want this needle to be floating, I think, for the most part. Now I think we could probably turn this down now that we've kind of fattened it a little bit. And we can play around with some additive EQ a little bit. Where's the horns? I want to add a little bit to the top up here. Ooh. God, I love this track. I'm so glad I pulled this out. Okay, and we got this chorusy reverb from Guitar Rig 6 on this guitar. I like the sound of this guitar. I like the sound of the reverb. I want to play around with an 1176 compressor. Maybe after the reverb, maybe before. We're going to probably try it both ways. Ooh, yes. Yes, this is doing great things to this guitar. So it does feel a little bit more defined when we do it in, before the reverb. After the reverb, though, is not a bad choice. Let's lock in on this bass. What do we got here? We got a saturator on here? That's weird. All right, I guess I used to do this a lot. Saturate my bass. I feel like nowadays I don't do that so often. I mean, this was putting in work. I can't deny it. The 2 decibels of drive here sounds pretty slick. Man, maybe I'm doubting my past. I'm just hating on my past self. Like this. No, I guess I knew what I was doing. That sounds pretty good. We're going to take an LA2A. Just to fatten it, and then we're going to put it back in place. Yeah, and I don't think I want to touch these drums. I really like the sound of these, so. Let's take a look at these bells. Cloud 1176. This one I'm going to kind of treat like percussion. Ooh, yo, okay. So yeah, because it's kind of percussive, I kind of did it like I would a lot of percussive elements, giving it like, all attack, no release. And this, I feel like kind of emphasizes the strike of the mallet pretty nicely. Dude, that's awesome. All right, we should probably fade this out a little bit. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I went to this event recently. It was it was hosted by the Fort Collins the Fort Collins Music Association. A really interesting event. Basically, what it was a panel of industry people coming to talk with everybody in Fort Collins that was, working in music. It was cool. I learned a lot there. There was a person from the MLC talking about how to claim your mechanical royalties, which, by the way, if you are somebody in the United States that has music on platforms, make sure you're registered with the MLC. Get your mechanical royalties. Or if you have Songtrust, I believe Songtrust can collect that for you. I think I'm personally going to be registered with Songtrust, quite honestly. But it was really cool. One of the people there was, I don't know, how many of you guys know who like Keith Urban is? My mom loves Keith Urban. Loves Keith Urban. Well, I met Keith Urban's social media manager at this thing. So I had to text my mom and I was like, oh, thought you might want to know. Like, I met Keith Urban's social media manager. She was like, what? And then she was immediately like, did you know that him and Nicole Kidman are getting divorced? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get any gossip about the divorce for you. It's funny. But yeah, really cool event. I even met a guy that buys catalogs. The company's name was Open on Sunday. And I met one of the guys that founded it and kind of chatted with him about maybe what it would take for me to sell my catalog at some point. I walked away from that thinking like, yeah, I think I've got somebody to buy my catalog in like maybe 2 years' time. Now, that said, me talking about selling my catalog, of course, my music is going to stay up on platforms and is going to remain in the TapDaddy discography, of course. It's just, maybe at some point I might sell a portion of my catalog for, a big paycheck to then help fund my future endeavors, I don't know. Catalog deals are becoming a lot more popular. I've got a friend that recently sold 3 years of his discography for like decent amount of money. And it's like, I don't know. I think it was really worthwhile going to this event. I learned a lot, and I made a valuable connection with somebody that I might be able to sell part of my catalog to in like about 2 or 3 years. So I don't know. I think if you guys are, trying to find stuff like that around your area, I'm lucky enough to live in Fort Collins, where we have FOCO MA, the Fort Collins Music Association, and I'm on their newsletter, and so I get sent out emails every time they've got an event going. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on like other events that I might go to, because I feel like there's just a lot of, I'm lucky enough to live in a really musical town that gives a lot of resources to people. But I guess like the takeaway that I got from this one was collect your mechanical royalties. They are out there. The MLC likely has them for you. And also, I'm open on Sunday. Interesting thing to look into. They buy catalog. I kind of am considering maybe doing that in a couple of years. That could be great, so I don't know. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Anyways, let's hear this through. Let's kind of see where we're at. Might turn this bass down a bit. Okay, that feels a lot better with the drums now. Okay, I kind of like boosted up that bass, that kick a little bit, so I could get like maybe 1 more decibel of bass. But I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe not. God, this song is so sick, dude. I love this. And we got 2.2 decibels of headroom there. That's good. I think we should just start compressing this. I think this is sounding pretty solid. So, let's bust out. Say it with me, guys. The Shadow Hills Master Compressor. All right, surprise, surprise. Here we go. All right, now we're going to use just a sparing amount of Little Radiator. I'm not going to destroy the mix, is what I tell myself now. Let's try it, though. Just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to start very low. We're going to work our way up. Oh, this does give a nice little bit of warmth. We gotta wait for this bass to come in, though, to really get it set. I like the sound of this. I'm thinking this amount of radiator. Let's still A/B test it. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. God, that is sick. Okay, I like this. I like this. Okay, so we're at minus 4.4. Let's boost it by like 4.5, and we'll just slap a limiter on there. I like getting it into the ceiling a little bit. Limiter. And then we'll true peak that, put the ceiling at 0. And then we will pull out Ulean loudness meter 2. And let's hear it all the way through. Let's measure our LUFS. Let's kind of see where we're at, because we'll probably feed this into the maximizer and see how that feels. But let's check it where we're at first. We might be good here. I'll probably do a little bit of limiting with the maximizer, but I don't know if I'll need to, though. At minus 0.7. Oh, is it because I had this? Okay. Well, this is going to get even better then. We're going to get this right at 0. I don't know why that was set to minus 0.7. I screwed it up while I was... Okay. Well, even better. This should give us an even better LUFS value. Let's check it out now. But I think this will be pretty good, because it looked like we were going to hit minus 10 LUFS. I think minus 10 really is the target goal for this one. I'll take as high as minus 9, nothing more than that, but... Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna be at like minus 10.5. Somewhere around there. Minus 10.6. Maybe it'll hit minus 10.7. Yeah, there we go. Dude, I'm totally taking that. That does not need any more touching. That is good. Oh, yes. We did some good work today. Holy shit. Okay, wow. I did not even do a save as. What am I thinking? Save live set as. And we'll do mix V1. Perfect. That didn't take much time at all. That was... it's a simple track. It was sounding great in the production. Not everything needs to be this elaborate, big process. Now, I mean, with that said, if this was like something for Spotify, I would probably, what I like to do is I like to break my mix session up into basically 2 days, where I give myself time to reflect on the work that I did the day before, and that usually helps. What's up, Mars? How you doing, dude? It's good to see you, man. How's life treating you, dude? You got here right at the end, right as I finished up this track. Cool. Okay, we got it. But yeah, man, I'm glad I dug this one out of hiding. Both of the tracks I did today, I made like either 1 to 2 years ago. It kind of goes to show, though, like, just because you made something a while ago, like, it still can hit. It still can hit, Doing all right. Glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, man. I feel accomplished. I'm going to go have a beer by the pool. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. God damn. Okay, well, that's sounding slick. Just a little reminder, if you guys are looking for my music, TapDaddy on Spotify. I just released this new EP, Thinking of You. It's beautiful. Go check it out if you're interested. You can find me on all platforms. TapDaddy, yeah. Mars is like, yeah, I need to go back through my old files. You should, man. You should. I have like 300 demos. There's a lot of good stuff in there that needs to get mixed, So I look forward to doing all of that on stream with you guys, I like mixing in front of you guys. It's really good. Like, I feel like it holds me accountable being in front of you guys, quite honestly. Yeah, and he's like, I want some beer now. Yo, I feel you, man. I think I'm off to go grab a beer and sit by the pool. I have been having a busy week, but it's a good week, man. It's a good week. Again, Thinking of You, that's going good. Definitely check it out. I guess the only other thing I wanted to say is like, yeah, this EP has had a phenomenal launch. I'm just like, I'm having a good week, busy week, It's like, oh man, it's crazy. I'll sleep when I'm dead. But yeah, he says, I have a bunch in my OneDrive, but there are so many more. Damn, I think really half the battle is remembering what you have on deck. That's half the battle. So what I do is and not on this computer, unfortunately, but on my other computer, I have a local file in Spotify, right? So I can listen in the Spotify app to files on my computer. And I have a big demo folder where I have organized by month, the demos, the month, the year that I made them in. And I can go back and find everything. I have a system where every demo that I make is assigned to a number, and that is the project file's number. And so I can go back, and I keep a big spreadsheet as well. I keep a huge spreadsheet where I color code how much I liked a track, whether it might be BeatStars worthy, whether it might be Spotify worthy. Maybe I'm uncertain if it's BeatStars worthy, so it gets a yellow color. Point is, I feel like half the battle is organizing and keeping track of what you have, which I used to never be this organized, man. But the moment that I did, I feel like I started making my catalog work for me double time, I just started to make a lot more use of the giant pile of demos that I was creating, So, yeah, he says, I name them when they're done. Fair enough, man. I feel like there's like 3 types of producers. There's ones that are just like number. That's me. There's ones that are like, this one's called Starburst. That sounds like you. And then there's ones that are like, I don't know what to call this. And they just smash their keyboard and save it. I'm curious if we have any of those in chat. But anyways, shit, I think that's where I'm calling it. I'm going to pop off. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Shit, this was a fun stream. I'm going to be live again on Saturday, making beats as I do. I hope to see you guys there. Until next time, happy producing. My name is TapDaddy, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hell yeah. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.